Welcome back to Good Morning Nigeria. Newspaper review is next.
All right, it's time for newspaper review. For some reasons, Chukwudi Abuja is unable to be here just yet, but we'll just go ahead. The show must go on.
The show must go on, of course.
And we'll do the honors. So
Today.
what have you got?
Well, I've got the new Telegraph, so we'll begin with it. And above the masthead, the new Telegraph. Nigeria, U.S. sign Memoranda of Understanding on Investment and Commerce. And just below the masthead, NAF, we destroyed 12 illegal refineries, 2 reservoirs in Abia Rivers. Details on page 4. Chanwo-Olu, Amuka, Oshoba to speak at Jokonde Memorial Lecture. Details on page 6. You were planted as a mole in our party. LP tells Okonkwo. Also on page 4. FRSC working to control road crashes via tech. Core Marshal tells Senate. And the headlines and the New Telegraph newspaper, government at crossroads as tension rises over planned hardship protest. That's the August 1st youth rage. We have riders, security concerns, reason we need organizers' details. That's coming from the police. Telcos trying to frustrate protests by restricting internet access. Adegborua attributed to him. Senator Kalu, protest justified, but that's a question mark. There is hunger, but protest not solution, DGNOA. Hunger, hopelessness, fueling clamor for action, OB. Says protest within ambit of law constitutional. And the side piece of the picture story, 84 Nigerians on Islamic scholarship in Malaysia. That's coming from the Crown Prince of Malaysia on page 25. Insecurity, while we may withdraw our services by Southwest hunters. Edu Guba, I'm dropping my ambition to support Okpegbelo Shuaibu to page 25. Nigeria's private jet ownership rises to 157 from 44 in 20 years. That's coming from the task force. Says illegal operators undermine security as government loses revenue. NLNG's chartered vessel arrives Nigeria for maiden loading to Portugal. And according to study, swallowing chewing gum can raise health risk. Victor?
All right. I have the leadership here, and we'll just take a few stories on the front page here. Alleged Basa breach, FG may ban British Airways from Lagos. That story is on page 22, and you can find the heading on just above the masthead here. And the major story here is 14 northern states grapple with abandoned federal roads, with riders, motorists, residents ask FG to end nightmare. Tinubu Umahi committed to fixing them, say controllers. Kaduna, Kebbi, Taraba, Zamfara have least abandoned highways. The FG executing 18 road projects in Kwara. That story is on page 4. And then, just at the bottom right of the leadership paper, Sarap sues CBN over missing 100 billion naira dirty notes, others. For details, get it on page 7. That's about it from the leadership. And on the front page of the blueprint, August 1 protest. Abbas engages youth. JNI 6 dialogue. Ohaneze urges stay off. And it has 2 riders. Allow Tinubu fix decade-long systemic rot. That's according to party. Abdurazak Sholagberu. Story is on pages 6, 9, 14, and 15. Adeleke, Nasarawa Speaker, others urge ceasefire. And then the LP versus Okonkwo story has been read by Jumai elsewhere. And for sports, Olympics, Spain breaks Super Falcons' heart, dim Nigeria's hope. That story is on page 32. And why Abuja, Lagos experience fresh fuel scarcity. That's according to NNPCL. You want the details? Find it on the front page of the blueprint. I think that's where we should leave it now for Chukudi to weigh in.
Good morning, Chukudi.
Good morning.
A wet morning.
I hope audibility is assured because we have our procedures for going on the air.
Yeah.
I thank them for slipping me in,
Yeah.
The nick of time. Now, sorry to the Super Falcons, Spain put paid to their ambition.
No, not quite. Not
Yeah,
quite.
but
is
the
a
hopes
slight
have dimmed a
chance,
bit.
But they must win the final match.
Exactly. That's the point I'm making.
You know, Nigerians, we know how to bounce back.
So, oh yeah, we do, my dear, indeed. The burning issue. The meeting point is people have a right to protest. And that means democracy has moved a bit. Remember, ANPP had to go to court over, before the court now ruled that people have a right to protest. So we're on the same page on that. I call it a consensus. Remember, I always tell you I come from the positive side. It's my nature. The point is, would things go haywire at a point? If it does, what will be the response of the security people? Nobody is going to watch you destroy another man's shop. Nobody is going to watch you take down infrastructure. The protesters have started well. On social media, so says the authorities, they applied for use of the Eagle Square in Abuja, All those things, let's leave the politics of it. At least we know that they want to use the Eagle Square. That means they want to be orderly.
Yes.
The question you now ask is, do we have enough boots on the ground to ensure that miscreants, urchins, do not take over what is legitimate action by the civil populace?
Yes.
That is where we are.
Well, maybe we'll have to recall back all these police officers and all who are guarding people there.
Yeah.
So that we can have enough boots on the ground.
If your dad was a policeman, we should also ask him to please come and help us.
Yes.
He's still,
Buy more boots.
Or we buy more boots, or we employ more boots.
The Minister of the Interior was practically a warrior on a station I saw yesterday for the president. He mentioned things that should touch the heart. Local government autonomy, the student loan scheme, the oil subsidies removal even. He said this has been a decades-long issue. It took the boldness of a statesman, not a politician, to implement it. And he said, if you keep giving Panadol to something that needs surgery, you are only postponing the evil day. He made quite some salient points.
Exactly.
But the problem we have is, how would this go when it starts playing out?
Yes, I was listening to the conversation on TikTok. It's a 24 hours conversation there, and most of them are saying they are known faces. This is their address. This is where they are.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you want to dialogue with us, you can meet us.
Leader of Take It Back,
Yes.
that's Damilare Aderola,
Yeah.
Director of Mobilization of Take It Back.
Yes.
Has spoken up yesterday. Shawore is
Yes.
out there. So you know a few faces at least.
Yes, you know a few faces. And even the ones on TikTok where the conversation is, which we don't know them, but now we know them. They are there with their faces, with their
there's
numbers.
no way you
and
wouldn't know
everything.
them.
I have always said, I told you here the other day,
Yeah.
that you and I can say we don't know the faces.
We know
Security
them.
agencies can
They
say
know
we don't
them.
know
The
But
police-
now they are coming out boldly as this is me. If you want to join the
because you hear
protest,
people
it's a
repeatedly
coordinated.
say
Exactly.
It's a coordinated.
Exactly.
Yes, it's a coordinated protest. This is where we are, and anybody who wants to join must come in, give us his details and all that, so that if anything goes wrong, you know who and who.
We have become more and more civilized and democratic
Yes,
about it.
yes.
It's not catch me if you can. No, it's not. But
I am
monitoring,
here.
yeah,
Yes,
of course,
I
yes.
am here.
So please, let's not create a myth
Yes.
where
They are
everything should be
faceless,
crystal
nobody
clear.
knows them.
You understand?
Yeah.
When I keep on talking about Africa here, Africa has some funny attitudes. Those things are not necessary.
And the problem is the social media is not helping matters. They've been posting some videos of NSAS and saying it happened in Lagos yesterday. It's not helping matters.
As a journalist, I hate to say this.
Yes.
You need to actually check some of the things going
And
on.
some people are busy posting it.
As a journalist, I don't want you to restrain my freedom of speech at all. But some of the things we are putting out, remember the former Minister of Information said it, Lai Mohammed.
Yes.
It started from there. If you cannot show me home training by the way you talk in public, over on sensitive issues, for crying out loud, at a point I might have to march in to tell you, no, we don't do it here.
Yeah, we don't do it here.
We don't do that here.
Even videos of protests in Kenya
Yes.
is being shown as if it happened in Nigeria, preempting the protest itself. But
that's why
yes.
where I warn about the activities of fifth columnists.
Yes.
Why are those people doing it? Some people could actually be brought over to cause trouble.
To cause trouble.
Security
yes.
agencies, you have to be on the alert.
Well said. And I missed a story here on the, just above the nameplate of the blueprint.
Okay.
CBN to establish office for dormant accounts, unclaimed balances. That story is on page 24. This has been an issue for a long time.
Yeah.
People wonder how you deal with dormant accounts, unclaimed balances. Maybe somebody passes, and relatives don't know he has this account or that account.
I don't think there's one mischief. There's a big bank. People will tell you that the reason they're big is that railway men that died long ago who had no nest of kin, their money is what the bank is using. These I didn't mention in the bank. So dormant account really is a suspicious account in the sense that you're going to ask, did the person die? Even if they died, didn't they have a relative and all that? Government might not leave such funds. But what I don't know, which you ask experts, is if they do touch it and legitimate claim comes for those monies later, I hope government would also speedily give those monies back. That's what I
have a personal story which I will tell you after Good Morning Nigeria, actually.
Okay.
I used to know you as a very open lady.
No, I can't say, I can't talk about
It's okay,
I don't want any bank to come after me, actually.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And then 14 northern states grapple with abandoned federal roads.
Yes. The depth of the decay, the correct word is dilapidation. Journalists say decay in Nigeria. Dilapidation of infrastructure is too telling to even be told. You understand? So it's going to be that way on and on. One of the things being canvassed by the Minister of the Interior yesterday was free up more money for capital projects.
Yes.
If you don't have money for capital projects, the infrastructure you're talking about is going to be left abandoned for a long time. So part of the thing is freeing up money. The question I've always asked here is, should the government have staggered fuel subsidy removal and floating a single foreign exchange window to reduce the hardship? Not that those things were not necessary to be done. I'm always very clear on these matters. They needed to be done. But did we need to do one first and then the other one so that people can bear it? That was the question. But I'm not an expert. I'm not an economist. But I needed to ask that question. So the infrastructure you're talking about needs intervention by funds. Those funds are, there's positive.
And when we talk about the north, I'll ask, have you been on the Benin Asaba Express?
I didn't want to go there because I nearly treat it as criminal.
You remember that video you sent to me?
Lokoja to Uromi to have not been worked on by the past
That's what I'm talking about now.
I
the
hate,
Asaba approaching the bridgehead.
I'm a journalist. I hate bringing my emotions into something. But that's Lokoja too. So it's not just northern realms.
Part of it is closed, where you now have one lane being used by two roads.
Umahid was livid about these things. But please, let's not cry over spilled milk.
All right.
Yes, please.
Let's thank you very much for sneaking in and then bouncing out.
I hope they heard my audio because we didn't run our check. I'm reporting us now.
You're bouncing out and go get high on the beautiful weather.
Yeah.
Yes.
And break
Actually, what happened today was that vehicles moved earlier, suspecting that the security on this Nigerian axis would have been beefed up, to make sure people do not infiltrate before 1st of August.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, that's what
It's all right. Thank you for coming, and see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
We'll take a break now, and the discussion proper begins after this time out.